I welcome you all. Namaste. Namaste. I welcome you all to this session, which is talk on. I think there's. Okay, we start now. Namaste. I welcome you all today to this talk on a very interesting topic of live in your eyes. It is a way of meditation that I have discovered, and I would like to share the background of it and how I have reached at this particular junction where this talk is primarily based. This talk is primarily to share my learnings with you. Okay. Namaste is a Sanskrit word. It is made up of two parts, Namah and Te. Namah is I bow. I bow with reverence. Te is a Bahuvachan of addressing others. What is Bahuvachan? Bahuvachan is Sa Tau Te. You, two of you, and all of you. So when I encounter you, why should I address you as you all? Such a big mistake could not have been done by the Sanskrit scholars. It is because when I say namaste, I don't consider you as one person. I consider you as your body, your Atma. Atma has no equivalent in English, so very close or a very close translation is soul. So I consider you as your body, your Atma, and a ansh of Paramatma in your Atma. So you are not one, you are not two, you are more than two. Because that ansh of Paramatma in you is also present in me. When I consider you as three or more than two parts, I consider myself as also as two parts. I am a body and I am a Atma. Whether I am a Atma living in the body or I am a body which is hosting the Atma. Body is temporary in both the cases. So it is only our perspective whether the body is hosting the Atma or the Atma is living inside the body. Let us take the popular belief that my body is hosting the Atma in me. Now, where is this Atma present in the body? I, I read the entire scientific literature which was available to me on the working of mind, on the biology of the brain, spoken to a number of neuro doctors, my friends, experts, everyone. They could not tell me where exactly is this Atma or soul in our body. It is there, but they don't acknowledge its presence. They acknowledge its absence. Then, when this part is not there, the body dies. They acknowledge its absence, but they do not acknowledge its presence. So, where exactly this Atma resides in our body? That was a question. Science could not give me an answer, so I turned back to the direct experience of rishis encapsulated in the Upanishads. The rishis were extremely gifted people of the past who meditated on questions of life, and whatever they experienced, they encapsulated into Vedas and the Upanishads. In Kathopanishad, the Yamraj tells Nachiketa, a 6-year-old boy, that Atma is of the size of your thumb and it lives behind your heart. Atma is the size of your thumb and it lives behind your heart. For a child, that is now. And when the Atma lives in heart, it is pure, it is boundless, it is full of joy and bliss. Look at a child. He's fallen from a chair. Immediately he starts crying. Tears are rolling down his eyes. He's crying he's living in the cry. And moment you look at him and make face, he starts laughing. The tears are going down and he's laughing. Look how much present he is in his present, in his now. He lives for the second, and the moment that second is past, he lives in the next second, he lives in the third. It is primarily because his Atma is in his heart. How beautiful is this explanation? Look at him when he's playing. Utmost concentration. Even if a tree falls next to him, it will not affect him because he's concentrated in his play. So when our Atma goes to its default position of the heart, we are in the now. Now, this now, why it is not there in all of us? As we keep on growing, this Atma is pulled up in a way we can visualize it getting pulled up by the brain. It moves up the spinal cord, and from the spinal cord it moves up throat level, moves up, and reaches the point where the spinal cord goes and meets the brain. Now let me show you an diagram to just explain what exactly is this. Now in this diagram you see the white thing. This is the spinal cord coming. This is the spinal cord coming up, and this is the brain. This is the point where the spinal cord meets the brain, and throughout our lives we live there. Why? Because the attachments of the world pull us up. The past memories pull us up. The future planning pull us up from our heart and makes us stay here. And if you want, there's another very beautiful image, this one. This is where we live throughout our lives. And this point is what? This point is past and future. Memories of past interfering with planning of the future. Past and future is here. So you see these two places, this just above your ears, intersected somewhere in between, just behind this point is where we continue to live throughout our lives. When we drop down to our heart, we are happy. So that is the background to this. The background is drop down to your heart, let your Atma be in your heart, and you will feel the happiness. Now, happiness is bliss. This happiness is the happiness which is absolutely not based on external inputs. External inputs are the 5 inputs: eyes, nose, ears, mouth, touch, and your smell, and the 5 sense organs. Whatever comes from these 5 sense organs, it goes to the brain. The brain analyzes it analyzes it with the memory and plans something for the future. So past and future is the default task of brain. Our aim is that we drop down from this planning and reach our heart. When we reach our heart, when we touch our heart, when we are in the now, they say be in the now. How do we be? How do we reach that now? We reach that now by dropping down. By dropping down everything, and the moment your heart is in your Atma, and let us move one step ahead from Atma, let us say awareness. That is a practical way of looking at it. Whenever the awareness is at the heart, we smile, we feel happy, we feel the enjoyment inside, we feel the bliss. Now, how do we, because the pulls of the world is attachment, and this attachment brings us tuck up. Once attachment comes and our awareness goes to our amygdala, that is the point where the your spinal cord connects with the brain. That is the point. Immediately, the moment something comes. Now, what is this attachment? They say attachment. Become detached with the world. How? What is this? What is this attachment? To get an example, you have a very beautiful pen. You are standing somewhere at the balcony of your house. Suddenly, the pen drops accidentally by you, and it goes down the drain. It become and you can see it that it is broken and it is beyond repair. It is gone. This memory of your pen haunts you day in, day out. You are working on some projects, and the project there's a word pen, and the moment the word pen comes into your awareness, your memory recall tuck, flashes this movie in your head. This tendency of not forgetting a worldly possession is called attachment. We got to cut these threads. And how do we cut these threads? That is the thing that I will share with you in the form of the meditation called Live in Your Eyes. Living in your eyes is living in the present and removing the threads of attachment, the rag and the dvesh. Rag and dvesh. Rag is attachment to what you have. Dvesh is the desire for things which you do not have. Rag and dvesh, if you cut them, immediately you drop from your amygdala to the heart. And the moment you are in the heart, it is happiness. It is joy, joy of a child. Look at the way a child laughs. He is fully in the laughter. Look at him. You tickle him in his stomach and he bursts out into laughing. You also, because this is your default setting, we have ensured that we don't stay in our default setting. So to get that, let us now move one step ahead and see what is living in your eyes. For that, let us paste a smile on our face. This is a fake smile. Again, fake smile. Slowly smile from inside. Yes. Now you are smiling from inside. When you are smiling from inside, just notice these 2 points of your face. Once again. All the muscles of your face are pulled up when our awareness is here. Just remember this thing. All the muscles are pulled up from here. So, as a cheat sheet, if we bring our awareness to this part throughout the day intentionally, we'll keep on smiling, and the moment we smile, we drop down to heart. The moment we smile, we drop down to heart. Make a dirty face and bring awareness to these 2 points. Just try this. Make a dirty face. The smile spreads on the face like sunshine. And this is living in your eyes. Throughout the day, don't live in your amygdala. Don't live at the junction of your spinal cord and brain. Push yourself up from there. It is just 2 inches of distance. Just push yourself from there and become aware of your eyes. And how do we live in our eyes? Become aware of your eyes. Become aware of the upper eyelid. Become aware of the lower eyelid. Become aware of these corners of the eyes. Become aware of these internal corners of the eyes. And then become aware of these smiling spots. If you do this 1, 2, 3, 4, Your smile will break on your face. We can practice this. I can say one, upper eyelid, two, lower eyelid, third, outer edges of the eyes, four, inner edge of the eyes, five, smile spot. And there is a smile. This smile is also there when we feel humor and when we are mischievous. When we are feeling some mischief, we intentionally stop these muscles from showing it on our face. But internally, we are very happy. This happiness is the one which brings utmost joy in us. And it facilitates what? Happiness facilitates the secretion of happy hormones in the body. And in these COVID times, secretion of happy hormones is the most important thing to heal our body internally and to strengthen our internal defenses. It is the most important thing. And how the happy hormones get secreted? By pasting a smile will not affect. No, it is just external, these muscles only. You are trying from somewhere here. Move up, reach here, this spot. And you can feel the warmth in your heart, and you can feel as if a rush, a fountain of joy is erupting from down, spreading on your face, drenching the entire head, all past and future. Drop. Who requires? Who? Mind is nothing. Mind is just putting names on things, naam roop, and shape. If it does not put a name on anything, it does not exist. As far as mind is concerned, if it is looked at, if it is recognized the shape, yes, it will exist. But it has to put a name to it. Naam roop is the task of your mind, and it is planning to solve some problem of the nation, problem of the political dispensation, problem of the house, your problem of problem, all problems. It keeps on solving problems, and it will not give any solution. It will fantasize. Mind will create some logic to make you feel happy. You see, mind also makes you feel happy. You don't like someone, mind will say, I will go and say I don't like you, and I will come back with utmost confidence. The mind has made you feel happy. You've not gone, you've not said anything. The mind has made you feel happy. This happiness is very short lived because it is from the center. It is a future event. I will go. It is not the present event. The present event is the one where you live the happiness first and then find a reason. Mind will give you a reason to feel happy. So it is a second hand job. Don't get into that. The mind gives you a reason to feel happy. Heart makes you feel happy, and then you may find a reason. You may not find a reason. If you do not find a reason, it is still, you still will be happy. You still will feel the joy. The face will redden up. The blood will flow into your muscles of the face. The past will drop. The future will drop. The present will spring, and you are in the present. Now, this is not a meditation. You see, if you do this as a meditation for 1 hour and you think that the entire day will be very happy, no, sir, you are wrong. This has to be practiced every moment of the day. Whenever you are aware of yourself, whenever you catch yourself thinking, whenever you think that you are standing on a platform, a thought train comes, you climb on that thought train and you are running. And suddenly you catch yourself, I am thinking of all these things. That is the time you bring awareness to these two spots. Train will drop, the platform will drop. You'll feel happy. Keep checking yourself, because this default planning and recalling of the mind in past and future has been happening for almost your age minus 6 years. or -7 years. Your age -7 years. That much for those many years you've been doing this only. You are in how can I go for a movie today without telling my parents? Keep on solving the problems only. And all are futuristic problems. So mind has captured our awareness. Mind has captured, it is hijacked. They call it amygdala hijack. It has hijacked the awareness into learning into these plans. Best way is smile. When you smile, the power of planning gets reduced. Thoughts will not go away, but since your awareness is at somewhere else, awareness of the thoughts will decrease. Your own awareness will increase, and this awareness of the smile will increase in the form of a fountain. It is very important that in these COVID times we ensure that our happy hormones are secreted throughout the day. So whenever you find yourself embroiled in a thick of a worry or in grief, we all have lost near and dear ones, very close ones, friends who are better than brothers. We all have lost them. So whenever we start recalling their associations, the good memories we had with them, we need to take a break. And that break will come not by stopping that thought, but by removing the significance we are giving to that thought by focusing here. Worries, all negative thoughts, they 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 do not get diluted. They lose their value. They lose their significance. We put more value to our smile. Okay, so we finish the thing today with one promise that throughout the week we will practice live in your eyes. And once we have practiced this aspect, next week we will move to the second step, that is burn it into bliss. Burn into bliss. That I will explain next week. So today it is live in your eyes. Keep recalling these 2 points. Your smile starts from here. The moment your awareness is here, smile will break on your face, and the past will drop, the future will drop, the plan will drop, the memory recall will drop. Sat Chit Anand. Okay, thank you, friends, for this, and Namaste, Namah Te. I bow with reverence to all of you. Thank you.